my parents were educators. My maternal grandparents were educators. And for the past 40 years, I've done the same thing. And so needless to say, over those years, I've had a chance to look at education reform from a lot of perspectives. Some of those reforms have been good, some of them have been not so good. And we know why kids drop out. We know why kids don't learn. It's either poverty, low attendance, negative peer influences. We know why. But one of the things that we never discuss, or we rarely discuss, is the value and importance of human connection, relationships.
Before we know further about the video, we have to know first who Rita Pierson is as a speaker. Rita Pierson is a professional educator who brings a special energy to her job and a desire to get to know her students, to show how much they matter and to support them in their growth. Rita teaches for 40 years, following in the footsteps of her grandmother and both parents. That is why she had a chance to look at educational reform from 3 different perspectives. The speaker begins her speech with the reasons for dropping out that we already know, such as poverty, low attendance, or negative peer influences. However, supporting by the statements of 2 famous Americans, she claims that one of the almost forgotten things at schools is the significance of human connection between teachers and students. Students will easily follow the lesson if they love the teacher, so connection is important. Seeking first to understand in order to be understood and apologizing are the next point of Rita's claim about good relationships between teachers and students. They see teachers' intentions and desire to teach. In her speech, she gives one more example of her own, which explicates the mistake she did with math lesson. She thought the whole lesson wrong. However, next day she made an apology to children and they said, "That is okay. You were so excited, so we just let you go." Wow, it is so wonderful. Her children understood her and could not even interrupt because of her teaching handicraft. Children did the reflection toward her, maybe because she did the same or because of her enthusiastic teaching process. Also, she showed her inspiring teaching skills, giving an example of the class with low academic achievements and her meticulous attitude toward the class. She tries not only to evaluate the students' work, but to encourage them to get higher marks by showing that they deserve better. As Rita said, teaching and learning should bring joy. How powerful would our world be if we had kids who were not afraid to take risks, who were not afraid to think, and who had a champion? Every child deserves a champion, an adult who will never give up on them, who understands the power of connection and insists that they become the best that they can possibly be.
The connection between the message in the TED Talk and our life is the ways we develop as a human being are affected by our relationship with other people and how we see ourselves. We see some of it in our everyday life. For examples, we can see how students tend to fail on class not because they are unable to understand the subject, but because they hate their teachers. they don't have a good relationship with their teachers. It is hard for someone to learn from a person that they hate. The speaker challenges us to think about the value of relationship. She challenges us, especially teachers, to find value on every student and to make a good relationship, even if the teachers hate their students. Teachers need to become a great actors and actresses. The speakers wants us to believe that everyone could be a better person. She wants us to see a good side in others, not only looking for their flaws. The speaker ideas that are important holding on to are: first, everyone have their own value. Second, connection between us and other people are important. It affects how we grow and develop as human beings. And the last, everyone has two sides, a positive side and negative side. We can't just focus on one side. We need to see both of them to understand others. The TED Talk makes us realize how important a connection between humans is. It makes us realize that every action we do have an effect on others. In other words, we should be careful about what we say and do to the others. The TED Talk teaches us that everyone has a value, that everyone is important.